Today, we're diving into something that so many of us have been through. It's that incredibly frustrating experience of being told your lab tests are normal, even when you just feel that something is off. We're going to break down how a new approach called the Spotlight method is changing the game and giving people real, actionable answers about their health. So let me ask you, does this sound familiar? You go to the doctor, you run all the tests, and the results come back normal. But you don't feel normal. You still feel sick. This is such a huge gap in modern healthcare, and it leaves so many people feeling dismissed, totally confused, and just stuck with no clear path forward. And we're not talking about vague feelings here. We're talking about real, life-disrupting symptoms. You know that persistent low energy that no amount of coffee seems to touch? Or that frustrating brain fog that just clouds your thinking? Maybe it's digestive issues or weight gain that just doesn't make any sense. If any of this is ringing a bell, believe me, you are not alone.
Okay, so here's the most crucial point, and I really want you to hear this. The problem is not in your head, and it is not something you just have to learn to live with. The real issue, it lies in the limitations of standard testing. These tests often look at the body in these isolated little snapshots, and they completely miss the bigger, interconnected picture of what's going on. This slide really says it all. Look at the difference. On one side, you have standard tests. A lot of it is based on subjective guesswork, like rating bacteria on a simple 1+ to 4+ scale. And get this, they can miss over 95% of the bacteria in your gut. But the Spotlight approach, it's a whole different world. It uses DNA analysis for what we call absolute quantification, an exact count of what's there. It also measures how your body is actually using nutrients, not just what's passively floating in your blood. It is literally the difference between a vague guess and a precise measurement. So let's dive into the first piece of this puzzle, the GI Spotlight. And I'll tell you right now, this is not your average stool test. This is a deep, precise look into your gut health, and it's all done using advanced DNA analysis. The technology that powers this is called qPCR. Now, instead of trying to grow bacteria in a petri dish, which is a pretty outdated method, qPCR goes straight to the source. It directly analyzes and counts the DNA of every bacteria, virus, and fungus in your sample. This gives us an exact census. It's the difference between guessing who's living in your gut and knowing exactly who's there and in what numbers. And the power of this is just incredible. The accuracy is over 95%. That means it is extremely reliable at finding what's there and, just as important, not finding what isn't. This is how we can finally identify those specific, hidden pathogens that older tests completely miss, giving a name to the root cause of so many of those mysterious digestive issues. All right, now for the second spotlight, the energy map. If the GI map tells us what's in your system, the energy map tells us how your system is actually working. We're shifting our focus from the gut to your individual cells to really understand your body's functional efficiency and get to the true root cause of fatigue. The absolute best way to understand this is with the bathtub analogy. I want you to picture your metabolism, your body's energy production factory, as a bathtub. The nutrients from your food, that's the water filling it up. Simple enough, right? But what if the drain is clogged? What if there's a bottleneck somewhere? Well, it doesn't matter how much more water you pour in, the tub's just going to overflow. The system fails. That is why you feel so tired. Your cells literally can't drain the nutrients to make energy properly. This is where this amazing science called functional metabolomics comes in. By measuring the specific byproducts in your system, the overflow from that clogged tub, we can pinpoint the exact location of the clog in your energy pathways. We can see precisely which nutrient deficiency, maybe a lack of B12 or CoQ10, is causing that backup and stalling out your energy production. So we have these two incredibly powerful tests, but their real magic? That comes from using them together to see the whole system in action. This is how we can finally connect the dots, how we can see how an issue in your gut can directly cause a symptom like brain fog. Let's just walk through it step by step. First, the GI Spotlight identifies an imbalance in the gut. Easy enough. Second, that gut problem triggers this low-grade, body-wide inflammation. And here's the key. Step 3, the energy map then shows us exactly how that inflammation is clogging the energy pathways inside your brain. That is the biological reason for brain fog, laid out right there in black and white. And the result of all this deep investigation isn't just a pile of data. It's your personalized health roadmap. You're no longer just throwing supplements at the wall, hoping something sticks. You have pinpointed root causes. And that allows for a targeted plan designed specifically for your body. It really is the end of all the guesswork and the beginning of a clear, actionable path to finally feeling better.
And that brings us to the final and really the most important question. After years of feeling unheard, of chasing symptoms, this kind of precise information provides the foundation for true understanding. It's about making a shift from the uncertainty of normal to the power of known. So, are you ready to stop guessing and start knowing what's truly going on inside your body?